They've told us that the variable resistance goes from 0 to maximum. That means that since voltage is proportional to resistance, the voltage should also go to maximum. And they've asked us to tell out of these four combinations, which one would give me the voltage of the lamp to be below its maximum voltage. So we want the lamp's voltage to be below its optimum, not max, below maximum. So I've given the power supply 12 volts. Each of these combination have a 12 volt power supply, and as they've told us that the voltage starts from 0 to maximum, so all of these variable resistors have resistance 0. Now as the voltage of this goes 0 to maximum, which is 12, if this was initially 0, this would be 12 volts, and it would go from 0 to all the way to 0 volts, because as the voltage increases here, the voltage in this combination should decrease to conserve this 12 volt power supply. So this cannot be the answer. So A is wrong. Moving on to B, as in B, the lamp and the variable resistor are in parallel. That means whatever happens to the voltage above should have the same effect below, because in parallel the voltage remains the same in both the components, up and down. So as the voltage of this goes from 0 to 12, this would also go from 0 to 12 volts. But we need this to be less than 12 volts because they've asked us to give an voltage which is below its optimum. So what if we get an external resistor which will take some of this 12 volts? So let's say this is 2 volts, so this will take 2 volts out of this 12 volts, and now this would be 10 volts now. Both of these resistors would be 10 volts. So this is the answer, because this is, as this increases to maximum, this would also increase to maximum, but we want it to be below maximum, so we've added a external resistor to decrease this 12 volts. Some of this 12 volts power supply would be supplied here as well, so this would decrease, this would be below maximum. So this is the answer. Now moving on to C, they've said that the voltage increases to maximum. So as this voltage goes from 0 to 12 volts, the voltage here would go from 12 volts to 0, because as the voltage increases here, the voltage should decrease here. And they've asked us that which of the combinations would give me the voltage of the lamp to go from 0 to maximum, 0 to below maximum, not from maximum to 0. So this cannot be the answer. Now in D, as the voltage increases from 0 to 12 volts, this would also go from 0 volts to 12 volts, but there is no external resistor, meaning this would get the maximum voltage as well. This would not be below optimum. This would not be below optimum. This would be more than the optimum. We don't want this lamp to explode, and they've asked us, they've told us that this the voltage should be below its maximum optimum power voltage. So this would keep increasing to maximum. So this would also, the voltage here would also keep increasing to maximum. But since this is not present, I've drawn this now. This is not present in the question. That means this 12 volts will keep increasing, and it would not be below. It would not be 11 or 10 volts. It would be maximum of 12 volts, which we don't want.